I want to thank you for your good words. You are my friend after all. I want to thank Manos and Manos for my invitation here. And the problem is the dislocation, the stability. We have many procedures. You heard about them: soft tissue, bone tissue. The causes of failure is our inability to understand the bone loss that we have about it and the deformation of the capsule or a Hagel lesion. The Latarjet has the triple blocking effect: the bone, the sling effect, the capsule if it's repaired. And it's if we repair a bankard with another bankard in a revision case, we many times have also a problem because the capsule doesn't stand. We need the sling effect. Latarjet is a very good stabilized procedure. There are many papers to do that, to say that, even in adolescents or even in older persons. Now, we're talking of how much bone loss. We started from 25, we're about 13.5, we had about 10%. We have the two scores from Boileau and from Di Giacomo. We heard about it. That may help us in our decision. Let's start a little history about Latarjet. Gilles Valls is the person that popularized this method in the modern era. They all start with the Trillat procedure in Lyon. It was an osteoclasty of the coracoid that pushes the subscapularis tendon down to protect the front capsule. Latarjet was a thoracic surgeon, actually, who saw the operation, he liked it and tried to do it. But actually, he broke the coracoid and then he cried, "Get me a screw," and just screw it on the glenoid. That was the beginning. I heard that from Gilles Valls. The Trillat was an osteoclastia, the Latarjet was an osteotomy. These two fellows, Boileau and Lafos, made it arthroscopic with button or screw fixation. And now let's go to the surgical technique. It's deltopectoral approach. Now I'm going to cheat a bit. I'm going to show you my arthroscopic videos because I don't have the open. Pectoralis minor in the left. We prepare the coracoid all around, cutting the CA ligament in the pectoralis minor. Then we drew holes, one or two, depending on what fixation we are going to use. We do the osteotomy with osteotome or a saw. Next, we prepare the axillary nerve, the subscapularis for the split. It's very important to find the nerve before you do anything, of course. We are doing the split 2/3, 1/3 usually from the up. Then we decorticate the back of the coracoid. We do the similar procedure to the front of the glenoid, so we have healing possibilities. We pass the coracoid through the split, put it in front of the glenoid, screw it, and that's all. There are contraindications, the painful shoulder, older patient over 60 years, as Gilles Valls says, voluntary laxity and static laxity. When we start the bankard, arthroscopic bankard, in the early years, our failure rate was about 9%. As time goes by, it increases instead of decreasing. The bankard by Longwood French Shoulder Society has a 25 recurrence after 80 years. Latarjet versus bankard, this meta-analysis shows fewer recurrences, better patient outcomes, less revision rates. In this military service men from the States, they have a recurrence rate of 8.7%, but just 5.7% in the primary and 20% in the revision. Nevertheless, they return to duty at about 90%. The arthroscopic Latarjet have even better results, and it's a very good way to treat the capsular deficiency. The arthroscopic bankard in the hand of Castagna has 20% recurrences. On the other hand, the open Latarjet in the hands of Gilles Valls has only 1.2 recurrences. I don't know if anyone can beat that number. In this meta-analysis of Hovelius, 89% return to sport and with very low revision rate after Latarjet. This is a very interesting paper from the team of Gerber from Zurich. In the long follow-up, you have a 13% dislocation in the Bankart zone, 21 reoperation in the Bankart zone, and 42 instability after 8 years. Of course, patient satisfaction and return to sport is much better in the Latarjet zone. In this paper from Tomazo, they have done arthroscopic Bankart. The recurrence rate after 9 years was 23%. In easy score 3 to 4 was 36%, and if they deal with people under 20 years, was 42%. These are similar results. We have heard about the easy score. The cutting point is the 3%. The glenoid tract index leads to fewer Latarjet. We heard about that from the previous speaker. So the cutting point is the 3% at the easy score. We know we can deal about 25 to 30% bond effect with the Latarjet. The belt or the sling effect is that makes a bit better the Latarjet from isolated bone block. Of course, we can add the ASA and make the things more equal. In this paper, says that they are equal, the results of Latarjet and bone Bankart, but there is some donor side morbidity. If you have a bony Bankart, maybe it's a better idea to do a Latarjet instead of fixing the bony fragment. You have better healing and better scores. Many papers, better scores in the Latarjet. And all the evaluations are for Latarjet. Why not do a Latarjet in every case? There are complications, of course, as in every osteoarthritis, bone block resorption, fractures, hematoma, nerve problems, subscapularis failure. It's a difficult operation, even the open and the arthroscopic. You have to master it well to do it. The resorption is a problem, the osteoarthritis is a problem. You dissolve the anatomy. Of course, you can fix your surgical technique and get away with many of these problems, but nevertheless, there are complications, up to 30% in the Latarjet. There is the matter of arthropathy. The dislocation causes the arthropathy or the operation. If you have only dislocation, it's about, let's say, 10% the arthropathy. With Latarjet, it's much more. And as age goes by, it's much worse. In the long-term dislocation, if you find any of them, you must do a revision as soon as possible, if some metal problems or whatever. And we all know, but if we do any operation in the shoulder, we have inferior results with the total shoulder arthroplasty. Now, the conclusion, you need to have your Latarjet as an option for shoulder surgery. You can do a Bankart in replacing cases without bone loss with good soft tissue. We heard about it in the previous talks. You may add the ASA and DAS when things got worse. You can do both bone block solution if you can add some soft tissue repair. But in the end, if you don't have anything to repair, only Latarjet would get you out of trouble. Thank you very much.